Hi, everybody. Welcome to Traverse Area District Library's Facebook page, and thank you for joining us for our live this afternoon. We are being joined today by Lauren from Transparent Language, and we're going to talk about the latest addition to Traverse Area District Library's database collection. So a couple of months ago, we added transparent language to our download and stream page and also to our research page with our list of databases. And you may be wondering why we chose to add another language program to our offerings. And what we really liked about this collection of languages was that it included a lot of Indigenous languages that we weren't seeing in the other language programs. And so that's one of the important things for us, especially for this month, because it is Native American History Month, and because we know that the survival of these Indigenous languages was really kind of perilous for a while, that the fact that there are people who are making sure that the language is being collected and that lessons are being created and that's being taught so that it can continue is really just an amazing thing. And so we're really excited about this edition of Transparent Language. And I'm going to talk to you all today a little bit about the database itself, and then we'll show you how that you can get signed up and log in with your Traverse Area District Library library card information. So I am going to go ahead and turn this over to Lauren. So thank you for joining us today, Lauren. And why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit more about Transparent Language?
Sure. I'm so excited to be here with you, Melissa, and everyone here on Facebook joining us. So just to kind of touch base on what Melissa has already said, we create a lot of language learning content in Transparent Language Online and make a lot of that content available to libraries. And we partner with an organization called 7,000 Languages, and their mission is to create free and online language learning courses in partnership with Indigenous, minority, and refugee communities so that they can keep their languages alive. So that's their mission. That's what they're out there doing. And they're doing some really great work. And if you're interested in learning more about the work that 7,000 Languages does, I would recommend going to their website, 7000.org. And now I'm going to just kind of talk to you a little bit about Transparent Language Online, some of the features that the program has to offer, and some of what you can do in Transparent Language Online, some of the content that you can access. So within Transparent Language Online, the resource has a lot of great benefits for you as a learner to sign up and learn a new language. The program is easy to use and access, so you can access it through a web browser on your computer, on your mobile phone, or your tablet. You're also able to use the program through one of our mobile apps as well. And the program does sync the learning progress that you make on either the computer or your phone or tablet, and it will sync it to your mobile app. So you get a great experience being able to move from one device to another and continue learning across those different devices. The program teaches all 4 core language skills. So you're going to go through activities that teach listening, speaking, reading, and writing as you learn various vocabulary words and phrases in the language that you're studying. So you get a really well-rounded experience in the language. And the program is going to adapt itself to your progress in the language. It's going to recognize words and phrases that you may struggle to learn and words and phrases that you get correct very easily. So it's going to show you the words and phrases that you struggle with more frequently than the words and phrases that you get correct very easily. And there's various ways throughout the program as you go through the learning activities, lessons, and courses to measure your progress, and you'll get feedback on how well you're doing as you're going through. So just to touch base on some of the available languages in the program, Transparent Language Online has 118 foreign languages for English speakers to learn. We also have English content for speakers of 32 different languages. So for any English language learners, we have content to help you both paired for speakers of 32 different languages, as well as immersion-based English content at the intermediate and advanced level. We also have other non-English paired languages, as well as a children's language learning program called Kidspeak. So that's our young learners program, and that's available in 6 different languages. So I'm going to take some time over the next couple of slides and just talk to you a little bit about the content in transparent language online and what you can learn. The Kidspeak program is great if you have young learners in your family, or maybe that you are that you teach. Maybe you're a teacher joining us and looking to see what content's available. We do have some great content. The Kidspeak program is geared towards learners in grades K through 2. It's animated and it's immersive. You can see a couple of sample screenshots over here on the side of the program. It's really a great program for young learners. I say grades K through 2, though. Really, anyone is welcome to use the program. Young learners of any age and even adults as well, if they're interested. And the Kidspeak program is available in 6 different languages: Chinese, English, French, German, Italian, and Spanish. So the mobile apps that are available, in case you're wondering about getting a mobile app and downloading it to your phone or tablet and using that, the mobile apps are available for iOS and Android devices, and you can download them right from the appropriate app store. And you can activate it either with the username and password that you create in Transparent Language Online, or when you're in the program on a web browser, if you click the mobile access button, you may see a QR code that pops up on the screen. You can also scan that QR code to access it and activate the app to make it real easy for you. And one of the really cool things that we've added to the mobile apps recently over the course of this year are hands-free autoplay lessons. So these are great lessons to take with you if you're traveling. Maybe you're taking a plane or a bus or a train. They're great if you're going for a walk, or you're at the gym and want to just keep refreshing yourself on the language. These are great lessons to take with you there. So the K through 12 content that we have in Transparent Language Online, we do some really great courses geared towards learners, school-aged learners. So I've already mentioned we have the Kidspeak program. That's great for young learners in grades K through 2. We have an elementary French and Spanish course, so meant for elementary aged learners. We have a Teen Voices course for middle school aged learners in French and Spanish. And in some languages, we also have a beginner conversations course, or you may find it in the program called the Essentials course. So we do have a variety of different courses in the program for K through 12 learners. And the beginner conversations and the Essentials course are meant for middle and high school aged learners. If you're looking for workforce and job related content, the Transparent Language Online program has different lessons and activity. There's actually a section in the Browse tab when you sign into it. If you scroll down in the language that you're learning, you may see a category called business vocabulary. And in that, there's some really great topics: advertising, agriculture, marketing, presentations, just general office vocabulary. So there's a lot of great content in there to brush up on any workforce related vocabulary that you're looking for. And we also have travel related content. So if you're looking to study a new language, to maybe plan for a trip that you're looking at taking, we do have our Essentials course, which is a really great course for working on some of that travel related vocabulary, such as eating at a restaurant, banking, directions, transportation. The Essentials course is 33 lessons, and it'll take you approximately 20 to 25 hours to complete. So it's a really great lesson set for getting that travel related vocabulary. And then we have everyday words and phrases as well. So if you're looking for just learning some basic information on, maybe you're looking for like weather and colors, days of the week, months, or maybe you're looking for something a little bit more in depth, like rooms of your household, food, conversation facilitation, banking, even again, more business vocabulary, I'd recommend our general vocabulary content set. It's a great content set for learning everyday words and phrases, and each list within that content set will take you about 30 minutes to complete. So you can do them pretty quickly. And you'll learn approximately 15 words and phrases within each list. So it's a great content set to use for just general and everyday. And I will pass it back over to Heather now.
Right.
Or Melissa. I can pass it over to Melissa.
No, that's okay. No worries. So yeah, thank you very much for that, Lauren. It's really great to see that content is really, for people of all ages. So you can start with the little ones and even, younger than kindergarten. I mean, if they're just listening in the background, they're still absorbing that knowledge. If you're learning, the little ones can be listening and learning with you, all the way up through, past your working age. You retire and you start to travel and, want to do those things. So we really, information in there and definitely knowledge and skills for people of all ages. So that's really great. Thank you for that. And now we just have a little bit of a teaser video. So from Transparent Language, they've done this really great video that's an intro, kind of a general intro there for all of the things that the database offers. So if we're ready for that and queued up.
All right, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. I hope that got you excited for Transparent Language Online and for using it. The program's a really great program. It has a lot to offer. And I think Melissa is going to talk now about accessing and using it. So how can you get started?
Yep, excellent. Thank you so much. So as I mentioned, while I'm getting ready to share my screen here, that we added this because of the Indigenous languages. One of the things that we really liked is that there's 3 different dialects of Ojibwe included in Transparent Language in Ojibwe or Anishinaabe. I'm sorry, I said that wrong, and I really apologize to everybody out there. And so that is the indigenous language that is spoken around the area where we are here in Traverse City. So we really liked the idea that, there would be that available. So let me go ahead and share my screen here, and we're going to talk about how we can get everyone started here. So first of all, you must have a valid Traverse Area District library card. So you need to have a library card with us. You need to live in our taxing district. So Grand Traverse County, and then Elmira, Inland, and Elmwood townships, which are slightly outside of our county, but you do need to live within that area. So, or you own property and pay property taxes in the area. That is our taxing district. And then you also need to have your login information for your library card account. So if you have not yet created that information so that you can log in online and place holds on your books or see what you have checked out and renew them, that kind of thing, then you want to go ahead and contact us and let us know, and we will get you hooked up with that information so that you then would be able to proceed. So here's what happens next. So where do you find it on our website? Because that's where you're going to need to start. So you're going to visit www.tadl.org. And then you're going to click on download and stream. And that's in the blue bar that goes across the middle of our webpage. So once you've clicked on download and stream, you'll scroll down and you can see here, I've got transparent language circled there in the red. And that's where you're going to find it. That's what you're going to want to look for. So you're going to click on the blue button there that says transparent language. And then this is where it's going to want your library card account information. So you're going to see the screen that I have here over on the left-hand side. If you've used any of our other digital resources, you've probably seen the screen before. So this is where you log in with either your username or your library card number. Sometimes that's your driver's license number. So you're going to put your username in for your library card account and the password that goes with it. And once you've done that, then it recognizes that you're one of our patrons in our taxing district. And then you're going to get the transparent language page, which I've shown you down here in the bottom right corner. And it'll still have our logo on it, but this is where you're going to be logging in specifically to transparent language. And if it's your first time here, you will need to go ahead and click on sign up and create an account. And this is what you're going to see then. So on the sign up, the very minimum that you need to put in is a unique username. And by unique, I mean no one else can have signed up with transparent language using that same username. So it's going to be unique to you. And then a password. And you see there are rules for the password. They've got them listed there. And then you have to do the checkbox to agree to their terms of use and privacy policy. I will say that if you don't have an email address, would find it useful to have an email address and give that to transparent language. It's going to be a way for you to be able to get in, for them to set you a password reset should you happen to forget your password. I mean, there's just a lot of useful things. If you provide your email address, they're not going to share that email address, so you're going to get a whole bunch of stuff from a whole bunch of other, databases and library things and that kind of stuff. This is really just for making sure that you've got seamless access to your transparent language learning. So you'll have to do that. And then once you've done that sign up and you've logged in, then you get to pick a language. So you pick the language where you want to start. And as I mentioned, so they've got 3 dialects of Ojibwe, as you can see over here. If you click on if you click on the little square that says dialects available, that's in yellow, it will show you the ones that are available. So then you'll be able to see what to choose from within those subgenres of your language. And once you've picked a language, it's going to take you to kind of your landing page. So this is where it's going to keep track of what you've done, what you've learned. And so you can set goals for yourself, how much you want to do a day, how much you want to do a week, whether that's in an amount of time spent or lessons or units that you've accomplished within that time. You can track the vocabulary. It will show you things that it knows that you're not doing so well in. It'll keep track of all that progress like Lauren talked about. So whether you're doing it in the app sometimes and on the computer sometimes, it's still going to go ahead and keep all of that information and your progress tracked in the same place here. And then it will allow you to review the units you've done. If you go, oh, that didn't go so well, and you want to go ahead and repeat it, this is where you're going to see all of the access for the things that you've done so far. And so that's pretty much what that looks like and how that's going to work for you. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing my screen. And let's see, we should be able to get out of that. Yep. So that's how easy it is to go ahead and get yourself set up with using transparent language online. You just need to have that couple of pieces of information. There are 2 levels of the sign-in if you're not doing it here in the library. If you are here in the library and you're signing in, to transparent language, you're going to find that it may skip the screen where it has you log in with your library card information because it knows you're here in the building. It recognizes that you're in the library and it kind of goes over that level of sign in. So then you might find yourself just signing directly into transparent language. So don't be too confused if that happens. But that's what we have here for transparent language. See, anybody have any questions for us? We've got, a couple of minutes here. We have people who are monitoring the comment section of Facebook in this live here. So if you've got anything that you want to ask us about this, Lauren and I are here for anything that you might want to know about. Okay. So we have one question here for you, Lauren. What's your favorite part of transparent language?
That's a really good question. I'm glad someone asked that. So my personal favorite part of transparent language, the transparent language online platform, is actually one of the learning activities that we offer. So we have a pronunciation practice activity that you can try out in the program. It's super fun. It allows you to actually record your pronunciation and compare it to a native speaker. So you see the native speaker's sound wave on the screen, and then you see your own. And you kind of get a little rating on the scale of how well you did to see how closely your pronunciation kind of compares to that native speaker. So that's probably my favorite part. I love being able to, practice my French. I'm learning French right now. I'm practicing my French, being able to record and see just how well I'm doing or where I need to improve. Sometimes I don't pronounce words and phrases as well as I should, so I've got to go back and keep retrying them. But that's probably my favorite part of the program.
I wonder, yeah, I saw that, and that was the part that intrigued me what the most almost too, was you see those sound waves and you can see how the formation of the sounds that make up the words and the phrases, how that compares to what it should look like as opposed to maybe how you're saying it. Because you hear people say things, but you making those sounds can sometimes be the hardest part. So we have another question. If someone is traveling and they're in a foreign land and they've been using transparent language for, their language learning, but they find themselves in the middle of a conversation or something along those lines and they're stuck. Is there anything that transparent language offers to help get them out of that sort of situation of trying to figure out what it is that they want to say next for their words?
Yeah, so we don't necessarily provide a translation tool in our mobile app, for instance, which some people might be, maybe that's kind of what this question is getting at. We don't necessarily provide a translation tool in the app. But one of the great things that you can do within the mobile app and actually within the web portal as well. So even if you were at your computer, if you learned a word or phrase in transparent language online, you can't quite remember what it was or even where you found it. We have a great search feature in the Browse tab where you can go in and you can actually search either maybe in English for this instance about the words. Maybe you were looking for the word for coffee, let's say. You could go into the program and search coffee, and it'll bring up all related words, phrases, as well as lessons and courses that word appears in. So it's a great way for you to be able to look it up and jog your memory of that word or phrase.
Okay. Yeah, search features are definitely helpful. I can see where that would be useful in that situation for sure. Okay. Anything else that we may have missed? Oh, let's see. We've got one other question. What are some of the most popular languages that people are learning on transparent language?
Ooh, good question. So that tends to vary just based on, where you are located in the country or around the world. That is definitely, a variable in terms of most popular languages. But, we do include all of the popular languages that you would probably think of, like French, Russian, Spanish, German, Italian, English, those are a lot of people are interested in those languages, but we also have people that are interested in less commonly taught languages as well, just based on, where they're located. So maybe your the community that you're in. Maybe you are interested in learning a little bit of Ojibwe, for instance. That could be a popular language in your area. So it does vary, but yeah, I would say that, if you're looking for languages like French and Spanish, German, Italian, those sorts of languages, English, those are all available in the program.
Excellent. And how often are new languages added to the transparent language platform?
Yeah, we add new languages throughout the year. So just depending on who we're working with to create those languages. So we work with native speakers to create the language content, verify the language content in the program. Just depending on those processes. We even often look at requests from libraries. So sometimes we'll get email requests asking for a language, and we kind of keep a running list of those languages that have been requested and review them every so often. So we kind of pick new languages from areas like that. But yeah, we're adding new languages throughout the year. So you can expect new languages to be added throughout the year, as well as new content too. So even if we don't add, a new language, in the course of a month or a couple of months, we may add a course in a language. So you may see, if you're learning Spanish, for instance, you may see that Spanish has a new course that's available. So we're always working behind the scenes to create content, either in new languages to the program or in existing languages within the program.
Excellent. That's great to know. So something that wasn't there today might be there, early next year. And so it's always good to check back and see what new things have been added. So
exactly. And when new courses are added to a language, oftentimes when you sign in, if you're learning that language, you may see a little notification pop up on the screen that says, new course available, we've added, and we name the course that it is and what it has to offer. Maybe, include a little bit of information about it. So we'll let you know too within the course when you sign in, or within the language, if a new course is available.
Great. Yeah, that's very helpful too. Surprise, here's a new thing. But yeah, the notifications are certainly helpful. All right, I'm going to see if any other questions have come through for us, any other comments for us on Facebook. And just giving it a couple of seconds here. But I think we might be done. So thank you, Lauren, for joining us. Really appreciate you coming to us and talking to us about transparent language. And I hope everybody out there, checks it out, enjoys this new, language learning platform that we've got available. And, again, pick up one of the, Indigenous people's languages, celebrate Native American History Month with us, learn one of the Ojibwe dialects for the area, or, pick something from, an area that you're really interested in, and just give it a try. So we hope everybody will be using transparent language, and give us a call at 231-932-8502, or email us at ask@tadl.org if you've got any questions about this or any of our other online resources, and the reference staff will be here and happy to help you out. So I hope everybody has a great rest of their day, and we'll see you at the library soon. Bye.